Welcome everybody to DiscoTech, the news channel from We Discover. We like to talk about things related to microcontrollers, robotics, and interesting tech that we see in the media. Today we've got a great lineup for you, and we're just going to dive right in. So first things first, AMD is going to partner with Samsung to bring mobile graphics to their devices. And it's a partnership that's actually pretty neat. So AMD generally makes big video cards for PCs, things like that. This is going to be from their Radeon division, and they're going to be using this to put graphics, like really good graphics, in smartphones, tablets, things like that. I think it's going to be pretty cool because you're going to see really scaled down GPUs, graphics processors, in a very small form factor, and we see that a lot, like on the Raspberry Pi and single board computers, the Latte Panda, things like that, more powerful ones. Mm-hmm. And I think in a few years, I'm hoping you might see some of these trickle down to those devices, like the single board computers. Like you might be able to get a Latte Panda or something like that with some really good graphics, like gaming graphics.
To make it look real, kind of?
I don't know if it would make it that good, but you know how cell phones are now. Some of the games that they have, they're pretty good on cell phones, especially when you're talking about something this big.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Think of that, an even better version on your single board computer.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
They're looking for cell phones and mobile devices right now, but I bet if that goes well, I think you might really start seeing AMD, small graphics units in a lot of other things too. Also, AMD just got the go for putting the graphics units also in the new PlayStation that's coming out. So no NVIDIA, nothing else is going to be actually AMD. So not bad. Yeah, they've got some really good stuff. If you have stock in AMD, if you bought a while ago, you're going to be doing pretty well right now. You pick one.
Let's go with hackable smart plugs. So basically, a company has made this thing. It's a smart plug. Now, basically, you plug it into the wall, and then you could plug your computer in, or your TV in, or if you have one, a coffee maker or something like that. And it's connected to Wi-Fi, so you could go on your phone and turn on your coffee pot if you're in bed, and then you're
from your phone.
Make it, from your phone, from your tablet, something like that.
Kind of.
What?
You'd be kind of. I could see you getting really fat. I mean, imagine if you had a robot that could bring you stuff too. A refrigerator robot.
Oh,
and
that.
You could just be like, and then.
And then everybody would be super lazy. Everyone would just be a bunch of Garfields.
What if your bed was mobile?
Oh!
You could just tell your bed to take you places.
Take me to the kitchen. Fridge, open up and use your robotic hand and give me my milk.
Not too much!
Sorry, master.
Okay, so what's the plug do?
So yeah, as I said, you can plug it into the wall, plug something else into it, and then it's connected to the Wi-Fi on your router. But people have actually found a way to use the plug and then get into the router, and then if you have your computer plugged in, they found a way to get into the router, so that, and then your computer screen could be off, but then they could use the plug and then go through that and then take files off your computer.
Okay, so you have the plug and it's connected wirelessly to your router that your computers and other devices are hooked up to. In the article, I read it. So what they did was they plugged the TV into the into the smart plug, and you can hook it up to Alexa and be like, hey Alexa or Google or whatever, turn the TV on, turn it off, turn it to channel whatever you wanted, turn Netflix on, and you can actually give it voice commands like that. So what they've done, that TV was also connected to the router to get to Netflix and things like that. So they use the smart plug to go through the router to access the TV. They could change the channel. They could see what you were watching. They could get files off they could put files on the TV as well and show things. But worse than that, they were actually able to get into the network and other computers that were hooked up to that same router. So through the plug, they were able to manipulate the TV. Okay, not the worst thing in the world, but then because they were able to get into the router, they were also able to get into all the other computers as well through this plug. And we'll show you a link to that right now. You can see there's the plug. It's not very big. They're about $49 on Amazon, I think is what we found.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. So a lot of people are, I mean, they're pretty popular. It was 2,100 reviews. And yeah, so you talk about a vulnerability like that in a lot of households. That starts to add up real quick what your network could be vulnerable to. All right, so what's your story?
So mine is Minecraft Story Mode 1 and 2 are being delisted, and it's part of Telltale's bankruptcy or something. But if there's a certain date that they're taking them down, and we'll show you that right here. So if you download it before the date, then you've got. But if you get it after, then you won't be able to download it.
What if you purchased it?
It won't really be. It won't do anything.
It won't let you download it even if you purchased it?
Yep.
Oh, I guess that's what the article says. Oh. Well, that kind of stinks. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know what Microsoft's going to do with that. Because Microsoft owns Minecraft now. Yeah, they bought it.
Yeah.
Do you know how much they bought that for?
Huh?
It was like $2 billion. It was
just
a
for that?
It was a lot. They paid him a lot of money. So they had many subscribers. I mean, a lot of people were playing it. And there's actually, as simple as the game is, it actually has a lot of smarts to it. And they really saw a future with it too. So I don't know. I wonder if Microsoft's gonna maybe take those story modes and publish them themselves, or maybe they'll just take it and just.
They could help Telltale, if.
Probably not. If they were going to help Telltale, I think they would have done it. And it's usually not in your best interest to help out a failing company like that. Unless you had a serious interest in what they had, like a technology or something like that. That happens a lot too, like where a big business will buy a small company that went under, not to save the company, but because they have a certain kind of technology that the big business wants. Like maybe they have like a revolutionary chainsaw or something like that. And they don't care about anything else. They don't care about the factories. They just want that really cool chainsaw. You know, they want to be able to sell it. So they'll buy all that. So that happens sometimes. Huh. I wonder if, like I said, I wonder if Microsoft will make some new story modes. Right. Hit me. I'm next. This one's really cool. So we're going to put this up right now. IKEA is making robotic furniture for living in small places. They're targeting these at like Japan, Korea, right now. Actually, I don't even think they're going to sell it like in America or anything like that. That's where they're selling it first. As you can see in the video, the video here, the bed hides away. It will actually move from the wall. This unit will move from the wall to give you access to a desk, dressers, and then the rest of where your clothes can be. really interesting. What do you think of that?
So it's
That's pretty cool.
basically like a small house or something.
No, it goes in your house. So like imagine your bedroom, and there are people who live in that small of a place. Like that is their home. That's their whole apartment. They come home after work. That's it. There is no other room or anything like that. There's no separate kitchen. It's all in the same room. They're usually like studios or something like that. But in Japan, those are everything, especially like Tokyo and stuff. They're really expensive. Any space at all. And so IKEA's coming out with this furniture where you push a button, and it, as you can see, again, we'll show that video. It will be next. It can move against the wall to give you more bed space. But during the day, you don't need that bed. So you push a button. It'll hide underneath the dressers and your desk and everything. It'll be under there, and then it will actually move itself from that wall to about halfway between the room to give you room for a desk and a closet on this side, and a sofa, like a chair, a sofa here.
I think that's a good idea, because if you have a small apartment like that, it's almost all you have to do is make sure that it has like a stove and a fridge. All you have to do is make sure that you have a stove, a fridge, and a microwave, and then basically you have everything else you need. You got your bed, you got a desk, you got a couch. All you have to do is push a button, and then it can move stuff around, and then you can get to whatever you need. I think that's a really good idea.
It kind of makes me feel bad because as messy as our house is sometimes, and there are people who have to live in an even smaller space. Imagine if our entire house was in, our living room.
Yeah.
I didn't mention that.
Well, exactly. You got to be smart. Well, they have like hideaway
Just get
beds.
8 of those.
Murphy beds. Have you ever seen a Murphy bed? Those are the ones that they raise up.
And
And-
then
and
they
then
like
it's-
go into the wall.
Yeah, they'll like go into
Oh,
like either
yeah,
like
I've
a
seen
dresser
those.
or like a wall or something
Yeah.
like that. So they'll actually sit there. So then you have all your space. So you have to be smart, and I think that's what this is
Yeah.
really showing. I think that's pretty neat.
If it's just our living room, I can't imagine that. Gosh, that'd be so crowded.
Yeah, yes, it would. Get your feet out of my face. Well, thank you everyone for sticking with us. Join us next time on DiscoTech. Again, we talk about technology, and the latest in the news, and we hope you have a pleasant week. Bye.
See ya. This is We Discover.
We discover.